Okay. We're up and running. So, did I miss anything? It's funny. It's actually really funny. I disappear for like, well, I don't stream, I guess, for a week. Cause like, my laptop's acting a little screwy at the moment. Everything runs fine. It's just that the keyboard doesn't want to work right. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. But apparently, in the time where I decided not to stream, and throughout the following week after, so like the past like almost 2 week time span, the world of gaming has completely shifted in directions I didn't think possible. And I have no idea where to start with this. I guess I should start off with the fact that I really wish I reacted live to the Air Riders Direct, because whoa. I'm just gonna sum up here. Because it's probably just finished, quote unquote, Oracle of Ages. No, I didn't want to do both Zeldas back to back. I figured, okay, this would be a good time for downtime anyway, with probably like Dudunsparce or something, right? Kind of break things up a little bit, add a little variety in. And then I take a week off because my keyboard starts messing up, and I still haven't fixed the issue. But I guess I've worked it enough to be like, okay, I can at least do Dudunsparce, which was probably the plan anyway. And apparently, it's a good thing. Dudunsparce is usually just chatting, chilling sort of things, kind of the point where I talk about things that have happened. Because, my God. Like, here's the thing. If I would have streamed last week, things probably wouldn't be that different, in all honesty. It'd just be maybe kind of chill, I guess, but me being like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about for a lot of it. But now that we have this, the freaking laptop being all stupid for some reason, and of course, gaming news that have just completely... This week has been nuts. Honestly, so no matter what, I think Dudunsparce would have been a great thing for this week anyway. And boy, am I glad it... I'm just glad I didn't do Dudunsparce last week. I'm actually kind of glad my laptop started to mess up, and therefore I couldn't do... I guess I could stream. It's not like I use the keyboard to stream much. But, like... You know, it's still iffy. It's still a little iffy, I'll admit. But hey, everything's fine, I guess. I'm using the on-screen keyboard, which is slow. I could do Bluetooth keyboard via my phone, but I found that to also be really awkward. The thing with the... I'm gonna go and make a sandwich real quick. The thing with the keyboard on the phone, Strat, the thing with that is that it's forced to be in landscape. It's forced to be horizontal. So I have to hold my phone sideways and kind of like reach over. And unlike the phone's keyboard, I can't like press shift and then it stays shifted. I have to hold shift down with one hand and then tap the appropriate letter with the other. Because otherwise it's incredibly awkward to try to reach over with the same hand. It's not fun. I tried it once when I was in 1A stream chat earlier this week. I want this to be fixed. I don't have a USB keyboard, and even if I did, both ports are currently being used right now. One for the capture card, one for a USB mouse. So, that's out the window. So, like, for now, I'm using the on-screen keyboard for stuff like this, and I'm glad I mainly do stuff on my Switch as of now, because, like, I don't know how the hell I'd be able to stream anything on the laptop that doesn't use a controller. Tomato, onion, green pepper. We can skip the hamburger I found out last time we did this. 2 tofus next. And I think we just put on 2 herbas. We'll do spicy because I'm in a mood. So, like, it seems that besides the keyboard, everything's working all right. So it's not like this thing has become completely unstable as maybe the thumbnail would lead you to believe. I just thought that'd be funny. Just Dudunsparce being angry at a laptop for not working right. So, like, yeah, no. But man, it is awkward. I'll sum up what happened. So, everything was working fine going into like, I just finished streaming for the week. We were in the weekend, and I was in a Discord call with a friend of mine doing Pokemon Showdown. And apparently, I don't know if Discord did something, or it was just my laptop being incredibly stupid, but at some point during that, my keyboard just kind of stopped. Now, it's not that it doesn't work at all. Like, if I hit keys, it still lights the keyboard up. If I press F11 or F12 to change the brightness, that still works. Function escape to kind of turn on function lock, kind of swap what the function keys do, that still works. But, like, I can't type with the thing. I can't change the volume with the thing. I can't take a screenshot with the thing. What happens is that it's stuck in some sort of, like, accessibility mode or something. I did not turn it on. I did not use a shortcut. But it just stopped. It just gave up. It just did. I know. I usually have my system sounds muted because I find them really annoying. Sometimes. 3. And what happened was, like, when I unmuted it, anytime I would press a key, it would go boop, boop. I don't know what that means. I asked around, it's like, oh, do you have, like, filter keys or toggle keys turned on? And I'm like, no, that's disabled, and I've turned off the shortcuts. And, like, huh, maybe it's some issue in the BIOS. I have not touched the BIOS yet. I want to exhaust all of my other options first because, you know, that's going down to like, more technical levels. And that's where things get more risky. So I'm not doing that quite yet. I'm going to try to exhaust any other options I have first. And so far, it has not worked. I don't know what's actually happening with it. That's the thing. I don't know. It just decided one day during a Discord call to stop working. It was working during the Discord call. I was able to send a screenshot perfectly fine. You know, the print screen button, Control V, there you go. That worked fine still. It was after the call where I noticed that everything broke and gave up. And I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure that out. And it makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't get it. So, I'll figure it out at some point, maybe? We'll see. But for now, my keyboard just doesn't freaking work right. I know for a fact that Windows can still interact with it. Because I push a key, it goes boop, boop. I can change brightness, and Windows responds accordingly with like the little bar showing you, this is how bright the screen is. It does that right. And the function lock still works, and I know for a fact it's not that, because I toggled it on and off, and both times it didn't do anything. Tried reinstalling drivers, tried restarting the laptop, because something like this has actually happened before, because cats, they're like that sometimes. They, you let a cat in your room with a computer that's on, they just like to sit on your keyboard, it just messes it up. I'm like, okay, restarting the laptop will probably fix it, right? Because it worked the last time something was happened. Nope. I have since also updated the laptop. That didn't fix it. So unless there's some hidden function I somehow clicked on that I don't quite understand, I just don't have a keyboard right now. But I know it still is communicating with Windows. On-screen keyboard, and even on the Bluetooth keyboard via my iPhone. That has shown me that it still does interface properly. If I turn on caps lock, either on-screen keyboard or with the phone, it will show the caps lock LED on the keyboard turning on. When I press a key on the keyboard lights up because the keyboard on this laptop is actually surprisingly, I wouldn't say fancy, but it's neat. I just think it's neat. That works fine. It's not wired wrong. It still accepts inputs. You're just not doing the right things with the inputs most of the time. And I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what changed. But something started acting up, and now I can't fix it. And it makes no sense to me. But I can assure you, if it's anything, it has to be software, because the hardware still works fine. From what I can tell, the hardware works fine. So I don't know. On-screen keyboard works, Bluetooth keyboard works. They're both clunky as hell to use when you're so used to typing. You're effectively having to use a mouse or kind of cramping your hands on typing on a landscape mode phone. But like, it's usable. I can still type, It's not like I'm completely shut out of my keyboard forever in general, Again, a few of the keys still do work like they're supposed to. So I think there's some sort of functionality I accidentally turned on this stupid thing. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I always, like, when I'm not playing on the Switch like I am today, I like to game on my laptop. So usually, the capture card is unplugged and I plug in the Pro Controller. So I can game with it. And it keeps it charged, that way I don't have to worry about it dying mid-stream or anything. And it just works. It's great. I don't know if I, hit a button wrong on that and did some weird obscure button combo that shut me out of my keyboard and it won't freaking stop. I don't know. I don't understand. But I'll try to experiment a bit more with it, and we'll see what happens. Long story short, at least I'm still able to stream. And at least I'm still able to use the keyboard enough to not make this laptop a complete waste of space. It's not a paperweight, I'll say that much. It's not a paperweight. So it could be worse. It could realistically be a lot worse. That's the thing. It works well enough that I can actually turn the thing on and use it for whatever I want to do with it. It's just that I can't use the physical keyboard for some reason. And we're still trying to figure what's up with that, because I've been asking around and no one freaking understands. Like, you have all of the accessibility stuff turned off. Why is it still doing this? Huh? I wouldn't be surprised if a bug in Windows that just something kicked in and decided to mess with something, because, like, I've had instances where this laptop does some weird things. I had, like, broken display drivers once, where, like, every now and again would, like, flash white. Whether it be on the whole screen or just on the bottom half, it was really annoying. And that was, like, 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. I fixed that. Maybe because I finally learned how to mess with drivers, and if they're corrupted, I can reinstall them. I'm confident enough to do that. And reinstalling the drivers did nothing. When it's like, oh, I see a keyboard here. It's working just fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. What are you talking about, Windows? Anytime I hit a key, it goes boop, boop. And I didn't do anything. So I don't know. I don't know what I did. But I just have to live with it for now. This is my life. And maybe I'll figure it out and I'll fix the thing and come to a huge revelation and we can all move on with our lives. But As much as I've made as much as I've made the problems with the laptop very clear and up front and like this ain't working right. You know? That's not the main thing I'm gonna be spending 2 whole hours talking about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this week has been absolutely crazy when it comes to game announcements and updates and that sort of thing. I think I'll start off with one that I'm not super excited about because I haven't played the first game, but I know it's been a meme online for a long time, and let's face it, I put it on the Nintendo Direct bingo cards for a reason. Silksong! Hollow Knight Silksong has a release date, and we know what happened. The devs took so long to make the game because they wanted to make it absolutely perfect. There was no development hell. They just wanted to keep putting more in the game and refining it and making it the best it could possibly be, and they just kept quiet about it. No crunch or anything. And I guess they didn't want to like reveal too much because they wanted to surprise people with how much they put in and all the good work they've done. And it's like, good on them. Shiny, by the way. Good on them, you know? So yeah, we finally know what happened to Silksong, and it seems like it's only good news. September 4th, I probably won't be playing it. I was only invested in it vaguely because of the memes of it just not being anywhere, just constantly being a no-show and announcement events. But it's here. 2 weeks, and then the joke's finally over. the Silksong saga, as we can call it, is done. It's over. The game's here. So, there you go. It happened. Second, this one happened today. We have another reveal for a Mega Pokemon for Pokemon Legends ZA. Mega Victory Bell. It's like a weird, like, bag thing. And, like, it's goofy. It's really goofy. But I also really like it. It's kind of funny how the 2 new Megas they've shown off so far, I don't know if they're going to show off any more before release. The 2 they've shown off so far have been really goofy. We have Dragonite with huge wings on its head, basically. And now we have Victory Bell being turned into, like, a big bag that has to tie itself shut with, like, its stem. Which is just so stupid, but I love it, you know? It's just so funny looking. I can't hate it. I can't hate it. And then they did this like weirdly, like big reveal for it where it's like the Sweet Sun incident, and it's like, are they gonna do what they did with I think it's Grievard, where like we just straight up see a Pokemon just like just the end. I mean, when you realize that Victory Bell is part poison type, like you start to think, whoa. They were hyping this one up a lot more than I think they hyped up Mega Dragonite, actually. I don't think they did a whole, like, coming soon, 2 days, the sweet city. But yeah, it's kind of nice. And after that, someone put on Twitter showing, like, how many Gen 1 Pokemon have not gotten a quote-unquote revamp. It's like no Mega Form, no, like, special gimmick thing, no regional form. And the list is actually surprisingly small. It's only like 20 or 30 Pokemon now from the original Gen 1. Most of them at this point have Megas or Gigantamax or regional forms, and I bet eventually, like, they'll all have something. Every Gen 1 Pokemon will have some sort of revamp. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised with that at all. A nice refresh for the originals, you know? I think that's neat. And I do plan on getting Legends Z. Probably gonna get the Switch version to start, because I still don't know exactly when I'm gonna get my Switch to. And that leads me to my third topic. I don't have one, but a friend of mine got one, and I've been able to actually play a few hours of Mario Kart World, and I'm still not used to the new mechanics yet. But it's been fun, actually. I really like Knockout Tour. I really do. And I haven't played everything. I have experienced the new Rainbow Road, but I haven't played through all the intermissions. I did not try any of the single player. It was just like multiplayer, local play, split screen Mario Kart. And it's great. It's a really dang good racing game. But as much as that game's kind of obligatory to get for Switch 2, it's not the racing game I'm the most excited for. That would go to Kirby. Because holy shit. Kirby Air Riders. That game, with that direct, has been the most hype I have been for a kart racing game in, like, ever? I have not really played Air Ride. I've been more of a spectator to Air Ride, mainly. But, like, just from what I've seen, and judging by what we've seen in the direct so far, it's all here. And then there's just more. And now everyone can use copy abilities. Look, it's Fire DDD, our hero! I would never say that. It's real. It's all real. The internet has absolutely fallen in love with Starman. Freaking high jump! High jump, getting all the recognition it deserves. Sakura including stuff from the modern Kirby games he didn't do stuff with. So, Magolor, Suzy, the super abilities. It's all here. It's all freaking here. And I know for a fact there's more that's hidden because they teased a thing with like a dark matter DDD thing. Possibly a story mode. A few copy abilities that we now know are in the game were not shown off in the original direct. Like Needle and Fighter were also in like the demo that I think they're currently letting people play at Gamescom. So that's neat. The character roster only takes up like half the screen. So like there's plenty of room for a bunch of other characters to show up and, you know, that's exciting. There's so much. We still haven't seen if Top Right is coming back. Which if it doesn't, then whatever. But it feels kind of weird, because like, Top Right has its fans, and it's just kind of this neat little thing, you know? It's a neat little thing. I can understand getting rid of it, because no one really cares about it. Because you got your default racing mode, and then you have City Trial, which is the part that everyone loves. It's like no one cares about Top Right at all. So like, if you cut it from Air Riders, I don't think many people will care. But with how much it has just been, let's take the original Air Ride and just add stuff to it, it would feel weird if Top Right didn't show up. It would be really weird, wouldn't it? But overall, it's looking amazing, and I really wish I actually recorded my live reactions to it, whether it be on stream or like recording kind of like I did with the Sonic Centrals last couple of years. Cause like the amount of screaming I did when some of the stuff showed up, just like, dude, you would not believe how happy I was to see Golem from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror show up. as like an obstacle on one of the tracks. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You can pick your rider. Kirby, DDD, Meta Knight, Bandana Waddle Dee. Suddenly Kawasaki! Like, what? Where did you come from? And then you can play as some of the enemies, like Cappy and Knuckle Joe, and Starman the Goat. And then you look at their alts, like, some of them are ripped from Smash. Kirby's alts have different, like, abilities for his specials. Gooey, his alt is his Dreamland 3 color palette. Susie's alt is like Parallel Susie from like Robobot's Extra Mode, I think. Starman's is his color palette from Dream Course. It's like, okay, like Sakurai, man, like you can tell how much he loves Kirby. Even the modern stuff where people are like they're moving the goalposts, like oh he'll never put in stuff from the modern Kirby game. It's gonna be like Superstar and before. We'll be lucky to see anything from 64, and then it's like here's Magalore, here's Susie, here's some super abilities. It's like, okay, he clearly had to put them in because he was obligated to, but come on, shut up. He does not hate modern Kirby. He doesn't. And of course he's gonna have some bias to the stuff he worked on because he worked on it. But he still likes the stuff from the modern Kirby games. Otherwise it wouldn't be in the game at all, and he'd be fighting like hell to make sure it wouldn't be put in the game. They had to fight so Pac-Man could have his Pac-Man world design in Smash Bros. And not his Ghostly Adventures design. Come on! Get it together, guys. Sakurai, I think Sakurai still likes the new Kirby stuff. Stop moving the goalpost, okay? Come on. And even if it's obligation, like, he's still putting attention to detail on those characters, still properly paying respect to that part of the franchise. Come on! Come on! Even if he didn't like it, he at least still did his damn homework. It's like, guys, are we joking here? This is Sakurai we're talking about. He's a legend. But yeah, Air Riders is a must-buy for me. That is guaranteed to be something. You know what? You know what? I will stream Air Riders at some point. I'll do some rounds of City Trial online during stream, and it'll be great. It'll be super great. It's gonna be some of the best kart racing experiences I'll ever have. And also, you gotta love the humor that Sakurai put in that direct, because like it seemed like he had full creative control on what to do with the direct. He put jokes in the thing. He was the one playing the game for like showing off City Trial and the air ride mode. Hey Vix. And you could tell he was having a blast just showing this all off. He had such a great time. Like, that's how you know the game's gonna be great. The man put his heart and soul into it. And my god, just from footage alone, I know it's gonna be peak. Like, I was already interested in Air Riders originally. Like, you guys remember the direct reaction, like, back in, what, March? When they revealed the Switch 2 proper? And, like, a whole bunch of the games that are going to be coming out in the first year. It's like... Do you remember how I fucking screamed with the teaser? That emotion is entirely justified and was basically how I was the whole damn direct for Air Riders. And I really wish I recorded or streamed my reactions live because they were so good. Oh dear, why does making a game have to be so hard? You might be asking, isn't this basically just Mario Kart? I mean, you're basically a bunch of familiar characters and all that, and it's fun, and then... Okay, so it basically is Mario Kart. But it's so good, though. It's so good, though. He just took Air Ride and made it more peak. That's coming from a guy who really hasn't played it at all. I just sat back and watched it, and it looked like a blast. And he made it better. He made it even better. Like, I must have it. I must have Air Riders. That, like, I've been pretty excited for things on the Switch 2 so far. Like, I was excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza, especially with the 3D modeling mode they put into things for fun. In Mario Kart World, even with the price point, and even with people complaining about how some of the content is handled, I've played a few hours thanks to a friend of mine. It's fun! It's really fun! And the soundtrack is fucking amazing! So I think I'm still gonna have fun with that when I get my own copy of it. But Air Riders takes the cake! That is the game I'm hyped the most about, is Air Riders. It's like, dude. Sakurai's done it again! I could just talk for hours. And I probably can right now. Talk about how excited I am and how much I love just the stuff he's shown off for Air Riders. You can pick from a multitude of different stadiums and just pick one that suits your current build. You're not just forced to a random one. And if you're the only one to pick a particular thing, you still get to go in and you just win by default. The game just lets you win by default. No contest, total champion. It's like, okay. It's great. It's great. I love it. And there's still more. There are more secrets that Sakurai is hiding from us. We must know where he's hiding. I'm 100% being honest in saying that Air Riders is my most hyped game of 2025. And it's the most hyped game so far for the Switch 2. Like, it's gonna take something really big to surpass it for me. You know? It's gotta be something really big, you know? I'm just saying. But yeah, Air Riders, freaking peak. I'm like, I cannot gush about that enough. I can't gush about it enough. It's great. It's freaking great, and we've only seen footage. Some people have gotten to play it. I wish I was one of those people. I wanna get my hands on a controller and just play Air Riders right now. But I can't. I have to wait at minimum till November, probably later than that, because there's no Switch 1 version, which makes sense because this game's gotta be this big, grand thing for Switch 2, 100% deserved. It looks so good. It looks so damn good. I want it. You sold me. I was already sold with the teaser, and now you've guaranteed it. You strip guarantee that I get your game immediately. It's just like, my God. You've done it. Oh, god damn it. I'm getting stuck in a Dudunsparce loop. But yeah, Era is amazing. That's something I'm really looking forward to. And Vix, I don't know how far behind you are, or if you are. So, like, I already talked about Silk Song finally getting a proper release date. And I already talked about Mega Victory Bell, which is so goofy. It's a freaking bag! It's just a bag that has to tie itself shut with a stem. It's so goofy. Like, wow. And we're not even done with the gaming news, because Pac-Man and Sonic crossing over, not just for Crossworlds, where apparently Pac-Man's car was in a trailer months ago and no one freaking noticed. No one realized until this announcement. But also, at the same time, they announced there's going to be Sonic stuff and Pac-Man World 2 Repack. Pac-Man running through Green Hill Zone. Like, yeah, it's gonna be Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Sky Sanctuary Zone, probably. Ripped straight from Sonic Generations, because Sega won't let that die. We've already seen Green Hill, and it is just straight up from Generations. Pac-Man even gets the boost and everything. But, it's neat, and they have proper cutscenes for it. And Sonic's actively wishing Pac-Man a happy birthday, and it's nice. It started a whole another discourse about Sonic having a shit 3D model, but that's besides the point. What is it? What is it with Bandai Namco? Like, nice. Shiny Glamora. I'm not even trying to get you. Okay, little distraction here from Dudunsparce, I guess. Sure, let's go to Dust Bowl. Okay, then! This is a surprise. Okay. The wrong shiny showed up. We haven't had this happen in a while. We haven't had this happen in quite a while. I mean, it's a new shiny for me. I don't have one yet, so I'll take it. Good things can come from going too far down the ramp. I probably should use a quick ball and just caught it immediately, because I don't know what moves it has. It has Rock Slide. Not doing much. I'm gonna keep trying a Dust Ball until it eventually works. I don't think it has any moves that'll get rid of it. Sludge Wave. I don't think it has Explosion or Self-Destruct or anything. Is it like coughing? I think I caught it. Yeah, I caught it! Let's go! Bonus Shiny! Bonus Shiny! Okay. I'll take a nice bonus shiny. And again, it's a new one. I don't have a shiny Glabora yet. I was actually wanting to get one at some point. I just never did. Right as the sandwich ended, too. So that was just random chance. Ah! Iron Bundle. I'm trying to look at the Glabora I just got. Wow. That's a surprise. As for our Dudunsparce here, the one I got, I'm going to go ahead and just use the on-screen keyboard to just... Boop, there we go. Perfect. I'm going to guess... serious nature. Damn it. But it has a mark. It has the lunchtime mark. That's neat. Okay. Hyper Drill. Put that on over Dragon Rush. I don't know why you have that. And then we quickly level you up. Here we go. Will it be a 3-segment? Number 49. Nope, 2-segment. That's okay. I think we came out on top with a random shiny Glamora at the end. So this is already going well. This wasn't even boosted by the sandwich. This is rock poison. The sandwich only boosted normal type stuff. This was only boosted by the shiny charm. So that's still like a 1 in 1,000 chance, I think. Maybe 1 in 2,000. I don't know the rate. I know it's not the default 1 in 4,096. It's definitely better odds than that, but like it's still pretty rare. It wasn't boosted beyond the charm, so this is still maybe like 1 in 1,300 something. Like that's still fairly rare. Especially when you're not actively trying to go for it. I heard there was a leak. I did not look at it. And glad as it is 2 for 2. So I guess the person who did that is incredibly credible. Don't give me specifics. Don't spoil me. But I'm willing to bet Dragonite and Victory Bell are not the only new ones. I'm willing to bet there will be more. People have been begging for Flygon. And I get it. Why is that happening? I don't know. Because I don't really pay attention to, you know, patterns, I guess. It just sort of happens, and I'm like, what? And I'm just left in awe by the sheer goofiness that is Mega Victory Bell. The freaking grass bag. And when you open up, just spews toxic wind everywhere. It's the bag of winds from the SpongeBob movie, but it freaking stuns everything. Let's go now. Where do I want to put that Glamora at for now? So I figure what to do with it. I'll put you in the mightiest box with Wo-Chien. I think this is the distribution for the next one already. So I will have to. Which one was next? The Ice Saber-Tooth thing. I forget its name. Because Wo-Chien's this one. Chi used the goldfish. And Ting-Lu is the moose thing with the big bowl on his head. I forget the name of the Saber-Tooth. But that one was battled like 5 million times. So that one's currently being distributed right now, I think. So I gotta get that. This is also the shiny Rayquaza. I tried to merge both pronunciations together. Rayquaza. That was dumb. Okay, let's head back up and make another sandwich. Get back to there. There are many more. Ooh. Are we talking like the same number of editions as there were with each like other game? Like we know that X and Y had a certain amount, and then they added a bunch more for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Is it that same number again? Like another like 10 or 12 they're adding, or is it just like 5 or 6? None of this true from what we actually see. I think they just said all the new Kanto Omegas in this game are going to be goofy. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I am perfectly okay with that. I remember, like, soon after Mega Victory Bell got revealed, someone made a list of every single Kanto Pokemon that's not gotten a refresh. Like, no regional form, no Mega, no Gigantamax, none of that. And the list is actually surprisingly small now. It's like 20 or 30 Pokemon now. So it's not many. It's not too many. So, that's cool. But, I guess I should make Mega predictions or something, right? Because I did, on Twitter, I did like a little prediction of what we could see during the Kirby Air Riders Direct. And I got really close with the copy ability predictions. I predicted that Beam, Cutter, what else? I predicted 4 things. Beam, Cutter. I was tempted to put Fighter, but I didn't. I forget. it was Beam, Cutter, something, and then a new ability, which we got Waddle Doo, which is like a half point. Cutter's in. Steel Ball is brand new. I got that. It's like, apparently I'm really good at guessing that sort of thing. It's one I really want to talk about in particular. Okay, so there's one more that's got you pretty hyped. I gotta ask, is it another goofy one, or is it like a cool one? Are we talking like goofy like these last two that have been revealed, or something like closer to the level of like Mega Charizard? Goofy. Okay, the pattern continues. But I love it. I love when they just get stupid with it. I mean, there's a reason why I'm actively going out of my way to shiny hunt for a 3-segment Dudunsparce. Because it's goofy. And because it's also, you know, kind of rare. So that'd be bragging rights, I guess. But, like, it's goofy. They just added a segment or two to Dunsparce and said, there you go. It's so dumb, but I love it. I love the goofy shit. I do. I think a lot of people like the goofy shit. Do I need to mention that they put Starman, the high jump enemy, into Kirby Air Riders, and everyone is super hyped about it, even if they didn't know who the heck he was. We all love the goofy shit. Yeah, I probably should make like a prediction of like Pokemon that I think would get Mega Forms, you know? Because if I can guess copy abilities that's spot on for Air Riders, I might be able to pull it off with Mega Pokemon. In all honesty, I think I probably can. I can probably get at least one. You know? How many new Megas they've added? It's only slightly less than X and Y, so like instead of like 10 or 12, they're adding like 28. I guess they're counting, I guess X and Y added 28, and they're also counting, are you also counting the stuff in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire that you couldn't get until those games came out? Because they're still in the game's code? Or are you just talking about these are the ones originally in the game that you can access immediately? So I feel like there's a difference. I feel like there's a little difference. It's kind of crazy that there's actually 28 in X and Y, and I've majorly underballed it. Wow! And then Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, like, probably doubled that, right? So it went up to around 50 total. So if what you're saying is true, it's like only slightly less. I'm guessing there's like maybe 20 new Megas. Including Oras, it's 40. Okay. So we'll probably have like a total of like around 60 Mega Evolutions with ZA. And we're probably not going to have every single Mega Evolution come back. Like, I don't see every possible Mega coming back. I think they'd be kind of pushing it. They might do it. They might, but I don't know. It depends, I guess. I'm just hoping the Gen 6 starters finally get Megas, because it was introduced in their generation, and they just didn't get Mega forms. The starters in Oras did. The freaking Hoenn starters did. Kalos starters? Nah. And then we'll probably get Mega forms for the 3 starters in ZA, so Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig, they're gonna fully evolve and then get the Megas from there. So we'll see Mega Feraligatr, Mega Emboar, and Mega Meganium? It's weird. We have like we're probably gonna get Mega Meganiums. I'm gonna go off of the assumption that we are just getting it. We're gonna have Mega Meganium, Mega, and then we have Dragonite. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I love it. It's dumb, but I love it. As for other ones I predict, they probably will put in Flygon. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm willing to bet that when they put it in, people are still going to be upset about its design. Because you're not going to please everyone. I get it. For some reason, I want to say I'm hoping for Mega Excadrill, but I don't really think we don't need that really, because Excadrill's great on its own. And B, that's just bias from that being my favorite Pokemon. I love Excadrill, man. What would make a good Mega? What's a Pokemon I think would be really good as a Mega, or like deserves something? Something that would reasonably get something, because like it'd be funny if they gave us a Mega Sunflora, but that's not happening. I don't think that's gonna happen. What else could they add? The number of Megas is actually in between. Oh. So it's between 20 and 28. So, like, right in the middle. We'll say, like, 24, 25. That's a good amount of new Megas. That's crazy. Okay, what would be something that would be really good as a Mega? Or something that could really get its like, true potential out of being a Mega? It'd be... judging by the fact that Zygarde is having a major place in the story, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of Mega form for it. And similar to the Primal evolutions, the Primal forms in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it won't technically be a Mega evolution, but it's the same general idea. Like maybe you cram extra cells into it and it becomes like a 200% form. Some shit like that. You never know. There is a chance that we get Megas from after Generation 6. So stuff from Alola, Galar, and maybe even Paldea, that's probably pushing it. Those aren't necessarily off the table, but I'm willing to bet it's probably going to be Gen 6 and earlier. And that's fair because Gen 6, Kalos only has one Mega and it's Deancey. is a generation that introduces Megas, and outside of the freaking mythical, no new Pokemon have Mega Evolutions. Which is bullshit. It is bullshit. Would be something that would either work as a Mega or just be stupid enough to be a Mega. And, like, kind of work. I will say they did a big effort to make a notable amount of Pokemon people forgot about. Is there a chance we could perchance see, here's an oddball one. Mega Klefki. Just because. Just because. Just, I'm trying to go with Pokemon that, you know, exist, but like maybe people forget about, but also lean into that stupid factor. It's like, Dragonite and Victreebel, like, they definitely get something good out of being Mega Evolutions, but they're also leaning into that goofy aspect of them. So why not just lean into the goofiness? What would a Mega Keychain look like? Just give it a bunch more keys and maybe make it double the size? Well, there you go. That's only a half-serious answer, by the way. I don't think they'd realistically make Klefki have a Mega Evolution. For a long time, I thought that Comfey from Gen 7, I think, was an evolution because it kind of looks similar to Klefki. But it's not. They're separate. So what would be something that'd be a good Mega that people kind of forget about? Or maybe not necessarily forget about, but would be interesting. And we can go from any generation, I'm guessing, right? Let me think of something. Let me think of a good option here. Ooh, here's an interesting idea. Mega Lycanroc, with different forms for each of its different Megas for each of its different forms. Huh? There's an idea. That'd be kind of neat. You'd be fine with me saying what gens aren't getting it. You know what? I'm okay with that. Look, I'm assuming that anything after Gen 6 is probably, for the most part, out of the picture, but there could be some overlap. I'm not expecting anything from Paldea. Galar might be pushing it. We already have Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 5 stuff pretty much confirmed at this point. 2 gens aren't getting Megas. And we're talking about the current 9, right? So that means that guaranteed we're getting something from... We'd be guaranteed to get something post Gen 6 then. That'd be 7 of 9, and that would mean that 1 after Gen 6 would have to be in. Basic math, everyone. Gen 3. Okay, Gen 3 I understand, because Generation 3 had Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It doesn't really need many more, if any. Gen 9 I also expected because we just got these Pokemon. But that means that Alola and Galar are getting Megas. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. You know what? Let's take it even further. Of the ones that show up in Galar, the ones that are from Generation 8, do any of the new megas from that also have Gigantamax? Is there overlap? Or are they all completely separated from that mechanic? This will be as far as I pry with it. That'll be as far as I pry with it. If there's overlap, that means that anything from Gen 8's on the table. Otherwise, that limits it quite a bit. Other than that, if Alola's confirmed, we're probably not going to get any Mega Ultra Beasts. That seems like a bit much. So take all those out of the equation. Legendaries are still on the table, because we've had Mega Legendaries before with Mewtwo, Rayquaza. I guess Kyogre and Groudon kind of count, but they're primal evolutions. They're different. Reversions, I guess. They're different. They don't really count. It's like legendaries are still possible. Ooh, would that mean maybe Mega Xerneas and Yveltal? So those are the Gen 6 legendaries. Ooh, that'd be interesting. I'm not sure on that one. I do a bit more theory crafting. Let me think. If we're getting more stuff from... Assuming that Meganium and Feraligatr aren't the only Johto ones. I had to look it up. I forgot who gets Gigantamax. The answer is no. So there's no overlap? I forgot how I phrased the question. But if there's no overlap, then that does narrow it down a bit. So that means I can take out stuff like Alchemy and, I think, Orbeetle? I think that had a Gigantamax. It's like, I can remove those. That's interesting. No overlap, okay. So anything that has a Gigantamax will not Mega Evolve. So that probably eliminates a good, like, dozen or so. So Toxtricity's out. I don't remember all the Gigantamaxes from Galar. So a lot of those were stuff from past gens as well. I could give it some thought. I could give it some thought. Like I could load up the Pokedex and look through and be like, what would realistically be a Mega Evolution? What would realistically get one? Whether it just be for goofy factor or because it could use the stat increase. Just something to think about. You know? But every gen except for Gen 9 and Gen 3 are on the table. We already have confirmation of Gen 1. Probably Gen 2 and 5 stuff as well already. So that leaves 4, 6, 7, and 8, I think. Are you saying that Gen 6 is on the table means that we'll be getting some Kalos Megas for once? Finally, Deante's not fucking alone. Okay, Let me think. What are some Pokemon that people often forget about? For some reason, I keep thinking of Reuniclus for some reason. Would that make a good Mega Evolution? Hmm. That's a Gen 5 thing. Hmm. I had to put a lot more thought in this. I had to put a lot more thought into what Megas we could possibly get. We're getting a whole list of like 24, 25, I'm guessing. So we're getting quite a bit. Freaking finally. Yeah, it's bugged me for years that they introduced Mega Evolution in Kalos, and only one Pokemon from that region can Mega Evolve, and it's the goddamn Mythical. It is so dumb. Because they gave it to the Kanto starters because of course they did. And they give it to the Hoenn starters because they have their whole remake. Nothing for the Kalos starters. That has bugged me. That has bugged me. Why is it like that? You know what? If anything, I hope to God those three get it. I hope to God those three get Mega Evolutions. They deserve it, man. They should have had him in the first place. Even if it's all from Gen 6. Come on! Anyway, speaking of random Pokemon that some people will probably forget, I mentioned earlier, in relation to my laptop keyboard deciding not to freaking do anything anymore for some reason, I recently been playing Pokemon Showdown with a friend of mine. And I invented an interesting rule set where it's sort of a spin on the random team thing that you use by default in Showdown. But with a twist is that you use a random number generator, whether it be from Google or random.org or something, and just you pick a random Pokemon. And that chooses your team of 6. You do that 6 times. Then you yourself can give them whatever moves and items such you want, as long as they can usually learn them. And we allowed rerolls, where you could pick a team member or two and re-roll them and try to get something better. And then using just those Pokemon, it's a double battle and to see who does better. Just random chance and who builds better. And I'll say this. A friend of mine found a way to make Caterpie actually freaking useful during this whole thing. It was a major support player. Like, it kept slowing my Pokemon down with Electro Web, and we did like best 2 out of 3 with it as well too. And he freaking swept me. Like, I focus on that Caterpie to get rid of it because, like, okay, it's 1 slot gone, can't get a free swap anymore with it. It's gone. Then I get swept by a Roaring Moon that has Fire Terra. That's fun. Second try, I'm like, okay, it's just a Caterpie, it ain't gonna do much. Might as well not bother with it. And then I proceed to get my entire team, not swept, I'm still able to take out the Roaring Moon immediately. But I can't freaking win against him because the Caterpie's constantly slowing me down and fucking with my stats. It's a Caterpie, it learns like 5 moves! It's like, I've learned not to underestimate any Pokemon. He made Caterpie viable! How do you do that? I know how you give it moves that fuck with the stats of your opponent, while also giving it a focus sash so you can't kill it in one turn. But I will admit, just having to build just random teams of Pokemon that I'm not super familiar with has probably done more to get me to understand competitive mechanics than actively trying competitive and violent. I will 100% admit that. I had to think a lot more about how to build my team, especially because there's a lot of Pokemon that aren't great. But you're doing a lot of pre-evolutions. We haven't made it a hard... We're still kind of messing with the rules a little bit. We're kind of tweaking it. It's not a hard rule, but every time I've built a team for our little matches, every time I always follow the item clause, where every single Pokemon has to have a different item. And it seems to be working out because, outside of the Caterpie incident, my teams have done pretty dang well. So, I think I'm getting it. I think I'm understanding competitive a little bit better now. So, good for me! I'm thinking of refining the rule set a little bit, and then maybe, like, making a tournament out of it. Like, that'd be interesting, like a random Pokemon team tournament thing. Maybe I can ask Wanya to help out with that, you know? Because, I was the one who got into Nuzlocke Pokemon Ruby, and then after that, he did, like, Soul Link Nuzlocke thing with a few friends of his, where it was every person was playing a different game, and it was barely held together with duct tape, and it was the dumbest thing, but it was funny. It was funny. So, like, there's some potential of maybe, like, doing a crossover thing with that. You know? So we already do the Archipelago stuff together already, so, like, you know, having more cross-community stuff would be interesting. So, yeah. I even had to make, like, a little thing in the rule book where if you re-roll a Pokemon and you get the same Pokemon again, you can just re-roll it again for free. Because that actually happened to the friend of mine. He got Clink, and then he decided to re-roll it and got Clink again! There are 1,025 Pokemon! It's like, come on! What are the odds of that? Granted, it's probably around the same odds of me just randomly stumbling upon a shiny Glamora, but what are we talking? It's like, come on. RNG sometimes, man. It can do some really funny things. I also did add a rule where it's based solely on national Pokedex number. So if you get a Pokemon that has multiple forms, you get to pick. So like one of my teams, I got Linoon, so I could pick between Gen 3 or Gen 8 with that one. And I ultimately chose the Galarian form. Ultimately, I don't think that Linoon actually did super... I don't think it did that much for my team that round, but I did give it Ghost Terra because I knew that Galarian Linoon would be double weak to fighting, and that would at least let me stall it a bit. Cause like, oh, you think you can one-shot me with like a cross chop or something? Ghost type. You can't hit me with that. We just see how long that lasts. I gave it Ghost Terra and Shadow Claw, and just like, if it comes to that, there you go. So yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really fun just to mess around with that. And again, it's gotten me to appreciate Pokemon I'd never really think about, especially like pre-evolutions. I will never underestimate Caterpie ever again. It was so stupid. That was probably the stupidest rounds we've ever had with that whole thing. It was so dumb. It was so dumb. I love it, but it was so dumb. But yeah, I'm thinking of like maybe running the rules to make it like a tournament thing. Like maybe it starts off with like a round robin thing to get everyone kind of used to it and give everyone like enough time to properly build stuff, and like then you get put into like an elimination tournament, typical bracket stuff, depending on how well you do in that round robin part. And you can take a certain number of Pokemon from your team during the round robin bit, and then re-roll the rest. You can roll the other few, and then no re-roll. You just take what you get. Good luck. So like, it's weird that I'm actually putting thought into like really weird, gameplay styles. Like, make a competitive team out of randomly selected Pokemon. You can't evolve them. Mega evolutions and Z moves and that, they're not allowed. I was thinking of maybe trying to find someone to make all of the gimmick stuff available, but I haven't found a way to enable both Dynamax and Terastallization at the same time during a match, where one person can Dynamax and the other person can Terastallize. I've not been able to find a way to get that to work. If I can get that to work, I can allow the gimmick stuff in it, and it'd be hilarious. Because then it'd be kind of like Pokemon Champions. It's like, depending on what Pokemon you get, just like the crazy matchups you can find, it's just wow. But I haven't been able to find a way to make all of the mechanics work, because like you can have the Mega Stones and the Z crystals be held items. Dynamax and Terastallization are like fully separate mechanics depending on whether you select Gen 8 or Gen 9 for your battles, and like I can't change that. I can't do anything about that. I don't think there's a way I could set that. If I can, then we can totally add that, but like it's not really a thing. Not a thing I can really do. And even then, I don't even know if the Z crystals or Mega Stones are even gonna work with the Gen 9 rule set. I don't know. I don't know if you're able to mix and match normally anyway. So I don't play enough Showdown, so I'm just ready to do battles with some of my buds. 99% of the time random battles. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like my whole idea with the whole like, randomly selected Pokemon thing is that it's based off the same kind of system that random battles is, but you have a lot more control of what moves and EVs and stuff you want to put on your Pokemon. It's not completely random, and it's not completely left to the luck of the draw whether or not you get a good team or not. Like, even if you get relatively mid or bad Pokemon, you can still make it work with the right moves and EVs and such. Again, my friend dominated with a team where he led with a Caterpie! You can make any of these Pokemon fucking work if you put effort into them. But a lot of times with the random selection, by default, it's just like, I don't know what these Pokemon have, and I don't know how they're all properly built or everything. I'm not gonna sit here for 5 minutes looking through everything. It's just weird. It's just weird. Doing the method I'm doing allows for more control with the same kind of RNG, here's your random Pokemon type stuff, you know? And we've gotten some really strange, we've got some really strange Pokemon matchups during this. You know? Like, I never thought in my life I would ever use, like, what was a Pokemon I used fairly well? I never thought I would make a team where I paired Aerodactyl and Blossom together, and then promptly, like, not sweep, but, like, just kind of dominate. Because Blossom has an ability where it moves where it gets double speed under Sunny Day. And Aerodactyl can learn Sunny Day. So what I did was... Let's remember. What I did was I had Aerodactyl and Blossom in the front. I gave Blossom, I think, choice specs. But special attack was raised, but it could only use one move. Aerodactyl went first, set up Sunny Day, and that would make Blossom go first, because it would boost his speed by double. And then I just had Blossom spam one-turn solar beams. Like, that's the kind of shit you don't normally expect to happen. Like, that's the kind of shit that makes random battles fun, and having control means I can actually build to do bullshit like that. It's not guaranteed with random battles on the default, because, like, you don't know what moves they're gonna have. They might not necessarily have good moves for this sort of thing. You can't really do bullshit strategies like that for fun. It's just so dumb. Sandwich done. I don't think we're gonna get shinies from that. Oh well. But yeah, it's just like dumb shit like that. It's hilarious. And then plus, Aerodactyl has an ability where it doesn't take recoil damage, so I give it double edge and have it clean up anytime that solar beam wouldn't take anything out. I can't wait for someone in that to randomly roll Calyrex Shadow Rider. I mean, that'd be possible. That'd be possible. I haven't really determined how I'm gonna do like fusion stuff. It's like if you roll Calyrex or Kyurem, like how exactly we handle that? Like, because they're fusing with other Pokemon to get these extra forms. So realistically, you'd need the other Pokemon, but they take up the one slot, so you still have a team of quote unquote 6, even if it's 7. So, would it be okay to have, like, Shadow Rider or the merged Kyurems if you roll one? We haven't had either of them show up. So, I don't actually have an answer to that yet. I had to put some thought into that and kind of brainstorm, you know? That's the fun of it. You never really think about. You never really, like, take into account every single possible combination. Like, I've already had to take into account, like, how am I going to handle Shedinja? I'm debating whether or not I actually want to ban Shedinja terrestrializing because of the, you know, electric Terra air balloon thing, you know? But there's also plenty of ways you can build a team around, like, taking it out, because, like, you give it a status or swap its ability, it's done. It's dead. Like, poison type uses toxic, or you swap its items so it's not an air balloon anymore, or like you change its ability or suppress it and then it's dead. So like, is it really that scary, or is it just the memes of it being supposedly invincible? That's the thing. So, yeah. I haven't taken into account every possible edge case because we haven't done enough matches where these edge cases would even realistically be a thing. So, it's very much still a work in progress. So, what are you gonna do? But we'll figure it out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So yeah. I'd probably have to run that by a few friends to be like, hey, can you scan this and like tell me if I'm missing anything here, or if there's some other like mechanics I like have to take into account. Because like normally, even like normal competitive Pokemon, like there's some moves that are outright just banned from competitive. Like I was looking through like some of the specific rule sets from past generations and all the different clauses they put in and everything, and Gen 5 they banned Skydrop and Dark Void. So I think Dark Void puts both Pokemon in Double Battle to sleep, or like a high chance of doing that, and that can't work with Sleep Claws. And then Skydrop, you just like one Pokemon just can't do shit, I guess. I don't know. I've never used either of those moves. I'm just going based on what I've heard. So like I gotta think about. Like, I want this to be like a complete free thing. I don't want too much to get banned from this. So I don't want it to be like a super competitive thing. And even then, if you're lucky enough to get a Pokemon that can learn these moves, because yeah, you can like, naturally or TM they work. So like, if you get a Pokemon that learns these moves, then you should be able to use them. Like if it's a signature move, like let the Pokemon freaking use it. It's not like the teams are even a secret anyway, because we would have like, whenever my friend and I would do these random teams, we would always announce what numbers we got, what Pokemon they're tied to, and then once we got our team of 6, we would take a screenshot and post it in Discord so we can keep referring to that over and over again and build our team around the opponent. So there's like a tournament setting. Everyone would see everyone else's basic teams and then build around them, supposedly, to the best of their ability, So it's not like they'd be caught off guard with some of these moves, It's not like they'd be caught off guard. It's like you could look up stuff about Pokemon, look up their move lists and everything, so you can know generally what to expect, and then it's just mind games from there. And that's what makes it fun, because you can do some really evil shit. You can do some really evil shit. So yeah. With this whole thing, I might not even ban any moves. As long as they were able to learn at some point through any generation, they can use it. Doesn't matter if they can't learn it anymore, or if the move's not in Generation 8 or 9 or anything. If they can learn it, they can learn it. Of course, stuff like Hidden Power still has to work how it does in the original games. That was a new rule we added because, like, you could just set it to be like, oh, I want Hidden Power to be fire in this case, but you can't have Hidden Power be fire with this particular Pokemon because it's all based on IVs and all that, and we're still working on a few things. It's not like Hidden Power is doing much, but like if you want to build for coverage, you gotta build it like a proper team, But outside of the fact that like some of these Pokemon are never gonna have proper matchups together, and a lot of them aren't even in Generation 9 to begin with, we still want them to be quote unquote competitive legal for the most part, Like we still gotta adhere to like the EV limits and all that, so gotta keep all that shit in mind. Outside of Pokemon from generations that aren't, like for example, like the Tangela line isn't in Generation 9, I don't think. But we don't want to ban Tangela from this, do we? And plus, because all the Pokemon you get are random, you can't really plan to get some of these busted Pokemon with these crazy moves. If you do, you're lucky, but then everyone else also knows you got that Pokemon and can plan accordingly. That's the whole idea. So I don't want to end up banning moves like a typical like competitive thing would. Because like realistically no one would get caught by surprise because everyone would see that, oh, you have this Pokemon. It has this move. It's usually a really scary thing and it's generally banned in tournaments. Let's try to build around it. Like build to focus on that one Pokemon, or maybe focus enough on it to where it's less of an issue, Like I had a round with a friend of mine where he got Landorus. And I used my team, while still having plenty of coverage for his entire team, focused a lot on trying to take out that Landers as soon as possible, you know? And in a tournament setting where you're going round robin and you're fighting just everyone, you gotta account for everyone's team. That's where things get really complicated. Crazy mind games and everything, you know? So I'm thinking about like possibly fleshing this whole concept out into like a bigger thing, you know? It's just a for fun thing more than anything. Like, no real prizes or anything, probably. Maybe because I think the Pokemon Company wouldn't be happy about that. This would just be like a for fun thing, you know? Like maybe you get a gift sub or something, I don't know. I wouldn't know. Can you tell I've never hosted a tournament to any extent before? But yeah, I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be a really fun thing. And I'll do my best to try to account for as much stuff as possible, and, you know, we'll see how it goes. As I play more rounds of this RNG team style with my friend, Johnny, by the way, as I do more matches with him, like, we'll eventually find more of these edge cases and ask more questions and elaborate on things. That's how we realize that, wait a minute, when you re-roll, there's a chance you can get the same Pokemon. Because that happened with Clink before. So, you know, the more we play, the more we find these weird edge cases, we try to play around, you know? Just something to think about. In a way, it's kind of like a lot of these challenge videos you see where people try to add, like, weird rules to it. And I'll admit, I kind of like doing that kind of... I like kind of setting up that sort of thing myself. I don't really do challenge videos, but like adding extra random like rule sets to things it's kind of funny. Like, there's a YouTuber, I think his name is like Don Schlack or something like that. He has like a Pianta for a profile picture. You've probably seen him. He did a thing where he basically turned Kirby games to Nuzlocke, where if you lose your ability from getting hit, you can never use that ability again. And of course, you can't just use basic Kirby and just, you know, use, like, star shots in order to win the game. You have to use captain abilities whenever possible. Can I beat Pokemon Scarlet without breathing? It was an idea I was trying to brainstorm, but I guess, because, like, that was, like, last year, I think, I tried to brainstorm it. And I never fully fleshed it out because laptop, I want to make sure the stream actually looks good enough for, like, highlights and stuff. Maybe like a highlight video of it. But I think I figured that stuff out now. So maybe in the future, if I can iron out a few things, I guess I'll say it here, because I've already done it once before. Super Mario 3D World, but played as if it were sort of a roguelike. You get a random character, you start off with a random item you can pick up, and then as you beat each castle, you get one new thing. And some items are bad. Like, you have to connect a second controller and have a sort of dummy character you have to carry around everywhere. That sort of thing. Like, each of the power-ups are locked behind stuff. There's certain stuff you don't want. Some stuff that doesn't really change anything. Like, I even put, like, the light boxes from, like, one specific level into the random pool. It would help with that one stage, and for nothing else. It's effectively a wasted slot. But, you know, roguelikes are kind of like that. But of course, without modding the game and changing the active game itself, you can't go super crazy with it, so I'm like, you know, leave it up to a wheel, you know? I gotta go back to that and flesh it out a little bit, and then we'll see what comes of it. And I might make it a thing at some point. But I got other things I can stream in the meantime while I think about that sort of thing. So, not important right now. That was something I was brainstorming last year, the year before, that I never fully ended up doing. But, you know, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Make it like a big special thing, you know? I think it'd be fun. Just gonna take some extra work, that's all. Just gonna take a little work. The hitboxes are still awkward. Hey Vix, you have a Switch too, right? And you have Scarlet, I think? So you've already dealt with the Switch 2 patch. Did they ever tweak the hitboxes, or are they still this awkward? Like, if they're still this awkward, that's a bit weird, but you know. I'm just saying, the Dudunsparce in particular has a really strange hitbox. It doesn't align with the Pokemon. It's like a full radius around it. Like it stretches the full diameter of its body. Like this much. I didn't touch it. Still encountered it. Weird shit like that. I'm willing to bet they probably didn't address that sort of thing, but like, you never know. You never know what stuff they updated in the thing. I didn't look too deeply into it. All I know is that it runs smoother and more Pokemon spawn at once. That's all I know about it. I don't have a Switch 2 yet. So, I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point, maybe. I don't know. It's still as awkward, I think? Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but you never know. You never know. You never know. How long is the sandwich? 17 minutes, okay. I think this will probably be the last sandwich for tonight, and then we'll do one more round of this tomorrow. I think that'd be good. And then probably next week we go back to playing Zelda. Start Oracle of Seasons. So it's been a couple weeks. I think it's long enough of a break between the Zelda games to where it's not super tiring, you know? No, I'll admit, ever since I beat Oracle of Ages, I've been thinking about it. Cause really, we've only played half of the game. Cause they introduced Twin Robo right before the end, and then you don't fight it. You don't fight Twin Robo at all, and the game ends on a cliffhanger with him you're like, yes, you defeat what you think is the big bad, but we still have nothing behind the scenes. Dun dun dun. You know. I want to continue the story of Craig. That's the thing. I want to continue the story of Craig. And I think a couple weeks has been enough. Assuming the game takes another month. And by that point, the new Kirby DLC is going to be out. So I gotta beware spoilers for that, because I don't have Switch 2 yet. So, Forgotten Land's going to have to wait a little bit. We wouldn't quite be in the time frame for Legends ZA. I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually going to play that on stream outside of maybe shiny hunting or some other random thing. I probably will, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm still thinking about it, but I've got a couple of months yet. Well, I'll figure it out. No, there's the Switch 2 version. This is the resolution and frame rate up with no other changes. For Pokemon, like Scarlet and Violet, because they definitely upped the spawn rate. There's definitely a lot more spawns. Just because they could, I guess. For Legends ZA, yeah, like the only difference would realistically be that. It's kind of true for like a lot of cross-gen stuff. And I don't really need to spend the extra $10 on a game I can't really even play yet, because I don't have a Switch 2 yet. And Switch 1 stuff is backwards compatible, so I can just play that on Switch 2 anyway and upgrade if I ever want to in the future. Not like it'll change anything. Yeah, we still have to wait a couple months for that, and Oracle Seasons won't be enough to push that time, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know. No matter what, I am probably going to pick up Legends ZA pretty early on. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to stream it. It'll definitely be a streamable thing at some point, regardless. At the very least, I think shiny hunting would be a lot simpler in it, because it's probably going to do a little jingle, like Legends Arceus did. Shiny pops up, ring! You know? You know you're close. Something I wish was in this, but it's not. Wish it was. How about also some maximum spawns? Okay, yeah. I figured. But I figure for like Legends ZA, the only difference is going to be like graphical stuff. It's not going to matter that much. Probably make it easier, yeah. I want that friggin' shiny chime. I want to go in an area and hear ring, because I've watched people shiny hunt in Legends Arceus. I watched one where you have to like spin a wheel to get a shiny of that type or something. I think for Legends Arceus, and just being able to fly over the whole map and then you hear ring, and you just drop down and look. It's like, there you go. It's so much more simple. You don't have to worry about squinting at the screen half the time, because you know a shiny is around here somewhere. You know? I do want to play Legends Arceus at some point too, but I know you said the games are very much different in their structure, but with Legends ZA coming out, I don't think I should be getting 2 different Legends games at the same time. Even with how different they are. And then by the time I'm actually probably built up enough to get Arceus, that's probably around the time they're going to reveal Generation 10. It's just going to keep getting pushed further and further back. It's too late. It's too late for Legends Arceus. I'm like half joking on that. You know how I am. It's like, the new things come out, of course I want to get the newest thing. And when it's an RPG like Pokemon, you're going to be putting in dozens of hours. Like, if you put too many of those back to back, you're going to burn yourself out. It's not going to be great. You know? Yeah, Legends ZA is definitely on the table. Definitely going to be streamed at some point. Don't know if I'm going to be streaming the whole story stuff. I don't know. At the very least, I'm very excited to see the new Megas. Because, like, so far, Dragonite and Victory Bell are great. And if you're saying there's at least, like, if you're saying there's 20-something of these things, and, like, that's a lot of stuff to look forward to. And you could just find them. They're just, I guess they're kind of roaming, I guess, now. You do, like, these one-on-one battles or something, you know? Definitely a lot better than Terra raids, I'll tell you that much. Ugh. Terra raids are so annoying. It's like, oh, it's real time. You have a real time clock you're going based off of. but the game still interrupts you with like 50 different text boxes, and half the time you can't do anything because the Pokemon keeps interrupting you! It's dumb, and I hate it, and it's stupid. I hate it. Nah. At least in Legends ZA, it actually feels like proper real time because you're actively moving around and dodging things. The game's not interrupting you constantly. They took notes. The more I see about ZA, the more and more oh, this is fast. Yes, but it's still a Pokemon game. Still a Pokemon game in the Legends series. It's probably going to take a lot of time. And again, by the time I sink enough time into Legends ZA to where I'm done with it, and maybe take a break from it in order to, not get burnt out before I play Arceus, boom, Generation 10 reveal. Gotta focus on that now. So like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to play it, but I might not actually get to. Plus, there's so many other games I want to play as well, not just Pokemon. Do I need to bring up Kirby Air Riders again? Game of the year 2025. Solely because it has Starman in it. But yeah, I'm totally gonna get Legends ZA. And then I guess around that time is when we can start speculating on around Generation 10, because Gen 9 was, I think, was it 2022, 2023? So Generation 10 would probably be announced next year, and then come out in 2027, I think. Because they probably don't want to be too close to Legends ZA. But it's like, it's still going to be relatively close because Arceus and Scarlet Violet were in the same year. They were like, what, 10 months apart? Less than that, maybe? Same calendar year, so... There's a chance that we might actually see an announcement for Generation 10 next year. So, that's when it starts. That's when it starts. And then we'll see what comes from it, We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to hope that Generation 10's better than 9, because... I still enjoy Gen 9, but man, is it rough. Look at this shit! Come on. Pathetic. Rushed out the damn door. It didn't need to be like this. It didn't need to be like this. The Switch era was so rough for Pokemon, because, like, Gen 8 showed there was some cracks forming, and then Gen 9... Oof. Oof. Add in the lackluster Gen 4 remix, and... yeah. Legends Arceus was good. They probably had planned DLC that got canceled because of the real world events of 2020. And then Let's Go, I think, was fine. A nice way of reintroducing Pokemon to people who only played Go and everything. I guess it was fun enough, but like, it's Gen 1 again. It's not anything super special. So like, the Switch era was so rough on Pokemon, man. It was rough. Not saying bad, just rough. Could have been better, like a C, Like, we expect better from the, what was it, the biggest biggest IP ever. Like, this is the biggest brand to exist, I guess, in terms of, like, intellectual property or something. Just, like, the games, the anime, merchandise, trading card game, all that stuff. Like, you expect a lot more from this franchise, you know? Generation 10 will most likely be a holiday release and ZA around that time, so... yeah. Well, again, long story short, Generation 10 won't see anything from it till next year. But, you know. I'm actually really excited to see what they do for Generation 10. It's like... Generation 10, they supposedly won't rush it out the door nearly as much as Gen 9. And they're gonna do a new gimmick with it. And they're gonna give us, like, around 70 or so new Pokemon, probably. What have you got up your sleeve? Yeah, Legends ZA. Definitely gonna get that. Definitely gonna be a treat. And we just simply keep stalling to the point I never play Arceus. Because they keep making these games. And the timing is just too perfect. It's right smack in the way. Now here's a real question for you. Do you think Generation 10 will be a cross-gen thing? Will it be on Switch and Switch 2? I'm willing to bet the answer is no. I'm thinking they're gonna ditch the Switch as soon as possible, and I think Legends ZA is the cutoff. Or I guess maybe closer to Pokemon Champions, because that's also cross-gen, I think, but like... You know what I mean. You know what I mean. In terms of mainline, non-spin-off stuff, I think they're done. I think they're done after ZA. They closed the book on the OG Switch, and they never look back. Except for maybe some random spin-off they'll shove on there, they'll announce at a Pokemon Day event or something, I don't know. Just... yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Sandwich is just about done. There's one more shiny to evolve. Putting us a nice, neat 50. Granted, we only got 3 shinies today, and one of them wasn't even a Dudunsparce. So, realistically, I wasn't super lucky today, but even then... that Glamora was not boosted by anything other than the charm, so that's still pretty dang rare. It just sort of happened just randomly. So, I guess I was lucky to some extent, just not the extent I really wanted. So, I don't know. All I know is that tomorrow's gonna be a lot more... Because usually when I do 2 Dudunsparce sessions back-to-back, the first one, you know, it's been a bit, that's when things are super hype, and I talk about a lot of stuff. And then the second one is when things slow to a crawl. And that's just kinda it. It's 2 hours of... Who knows? Maybe I'll figure out what's wrong with the keyboard and I can spend 20 minutes being like, yay, I fixed my tech issues, I'm free! Yeah, but, I don't know. Maybe I could do some more work refining the Pokemon Showdown random Pokemon team thing. That would be a nice brainstorming session. Give me something to do besides this for 2 hours. If it works, it works. That sandwich is done. I also haven't gotten around to fixing the game wave yet. Long story short, there's a capacitor that's gone all warped and bad to replace it. But I have no idea how any of that stuff works. I don't have a soldering iron. So, even if I knew how to fix it, I can't. Maybe my uncle can, but we haven't really asked about that yet. So... But it is seemingly fixable. It's just a capacitor that's old. So let's replace that. It should run fine. So, Game Wave is potentially on the table in the not near future, but sometime. Eventually. Anyway, Dudunsparce. Number 50. Well, halfway there. And let's see what we got. I'm going to guess the nature is timid. Rash. Damn it. No mark. We're going to give it the move. Hyper Drill. Over Dragon Rush, because I don't care. And then give it a level up. And off we go. Are you going to be a 3 segment? Will this actually be the end? Nope. 2 segment. Okay. Well, with that, we're not quite at 2 hours, but I don't really want to do another sandwich tonight. So I could probably stall for a few minutes to make it 2 hours. It's only like 3 minutes. It's fine. Anyway, let me think. What can I do for 3 minutes? I'm actually gonna do any filler stream. I've gotten the 3 segment, and I need a filler stream. Well, by the time that happens, well, Legend ZA will probably be out, and probably been out for a while, given my luck with this. So probably just shiny hunting in there, because it's probably gonna be a lot more fun. Because this would be done. I'm not doing Tandemaus like this, because it would be so much worse. Egg shiny hunting takes forever and it's slow. And, of course, Legends would be new and refreshing and great and, So, by the time I eventually get the 3 segment, I'll probably just be doing shiny hunting in Legends ZA. That'd probably be the filler at that point. In all honesty. And even then, it's a 1 in 100 chance with these things. Add on to the shiny rate being 1 in 683 with shiny boost from the sandwich and the lucky charm. And we're talking 1 in 68,300 chance of actually getting the 3 segment technically, accounting for every single spawn that shows up. Because you have to roll both of those and get both of those rare events to happen at once. When Shiny Catherine did it, it took her 200. So we'll likely be doing this for a while unless I get really lucky. If we want to speed it up, we could always kind of change the format of this a little bit. Or maybe I can introduce some egg stuff and have the eggs hatch as I'm moving around. But I have to clear out my boxes more before I do that, because it's going to take up so much space. So, that wouldn't be great either. And then also I'd have to sit around like this in my own time for a couple hours filling up boxes of eggs, just so I have enough to go through basically 4 hours of stuff. It would give me more encounters, but I don't know. Otherwise, it's just this. I could maybe hatch eggs in my own time or something. Like, if I get a shiny, I just tally them as I, like, evolve them at the start of stream, maybe? I don't know. If we realistically want to try speeding this up a bit, I think we'd only do that once I reach triple digits. Once I reach 100, which at this rate would probably be another year and a half, then at that point I think I'd probably start doing, like, eggs or, like, catching some in my own time and just evolving them on stream. And by that point, I might just, like, record them, like, in my own time and be like, here's all the ones I found in my own time, and like a 3-minute video plays of me just catching like 3 or 4 random shinies that I got over the course of a week. Just from playing the game a little bit and like one sandwich a day. I could probably do that, but we're not at the point where I really need to speed things up. And there's always going to be a place for filler streams. And then plus, if a shiny I get off stream ends up being a 3-simmer when I evolve it on stream, that means we're done 5 minutes in. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do for the next 2 hours. It's all very up in the air, let's say. Which is honestly kind of true. It's kind of true about a lot of things I stream. Just kind of a lot of things are up in the air. It's up to circumstance, you know. Will the weather cooperate? Will my laptop cooperate? Can I get the thing? Will I get the dang thing I want to stream actually running? What games are coming out? Is Nintendo gonna suddenly be like, hey, here's a direct and we only give you a day's notice, have fun? Because they always do that. It was so nice when they gave us a couple months ahead of time for the Switch 2 direct. That was nice. Can they do that again with every direct and just give it like a week? Give us like a week's notice so we could plan around it a bit better. And also maybe not do it at 8 in the fucking morning. I'm not a morning person. Maybe I'd be more motivated to react to stuff with the Kirby Air Riders direct if it wasn't so early. And you gave me more than like 2 days to think about it. Though granted, that's also partly because I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to do it all with the keyboard issues. Good news, Dudunsparce still works well, because now instead of it being button controlled, the counter is a click. It's a mouse click now, which is a lot easier for me actually. Just put the mouse over the P key on the on-screen keyboard, press it, boom, there we go, there it is. There's the number, and if I want to get rid of it, boom, press delete, it's gone. I don't have to actually like, reach over and like hit a key on the keyboard. I just move my mouse a bit. It's closer. Now, if I had to rely on a touchpad, it'd be different. But I stopped using that a long time ago because I hate touchpads. Anyway, I successfully stalled to pass the 2-hour mark. The stream is officially ending. I did it. With that, I say goodbye. And tomorrow we do more of this. And maybe we talk more about some announcements, because Gamescom is, I think, still happening. I've never paid attention to it before, but because Silksong is there, people are losing their minds. Because Nintendo's actually doing things with it, people are losing their minds. So it might be some more major thing this time. I don't know. I'm still barely paying attention to it. But if there's something interesting, I'll talk about it, maybe. Otherwise, it might just be brainstorming Pokemon Showdown stuff. And even then, that probably won't last 2 hours, so maybe in my own time I'll maybe look up all of the Pokemon and maybe make some theories as to what could possibly get a Mega Evolution. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually, okay? Eventually, you have less than 24 hours to think about it. You better start thinking now, buddy. I'll do my best to make sure that tomorrow's Dudunsparce session isn't so monotonous as the second one of the week normally is. And then after that, it's right back to Zelda as we play through Oracle of Seasons. And finally get the second half of Craig's story, and then I'll probably take a month. And by then, I'd have to find something short if I want to play ZA on stream as it comes out. And even then, there's no guarantee I will. I'm still not entirely sure on that. Because, Legend of ZA comes out in mid-October, right? So we have 2 months roughly. So if we take next week into account, starting on the 28th, start Oracle of Seasons then. Assume same length, so it takes 8 streams. That puts us in mid-September. We still gotta wait a month to get to Legends ZA, and I'm not sure what would take a month realistically. I don't want to do a month straight of this, because that would get even more monotonous than usual. But maybe 1 week wouldn't hurt. That would still put us in late September. Still gotta get a couple more weeks in before Legends ZA comes out. Hang on. The release date is on Nintendo today. I'm gonna check it real quick. I don't remember the exact release date. And that's on me. Oh, hey! Nintendo today has a little thing about the stage trial, Skya Island. That's neat. Beautiful screenshots. Most of which I think were just taken from the Direct itself. So it's not like it's new, but like, you got a wallpaper now, I guess. Yay! Let's see. Calendar. We skip to October. And ZA is on the 16th. And I don't know if I'm going to stream it day 1. If anything, I might actually... Because it would be a stream day if I got it, but I prefer to get it physically, and I might not be able to do that until at least the weekend of that. So assume those 2 days are kind of a wash, and I stream Legends ZA on the 23rd, meaning damn near exactly 2 months later. I should probably think about this to myself off stream, huh? I'm sure I'll find enough stuff to fill in the gap, and then Legends ZA will probably be like the 23rd or something, you know? Because odds are I won't actually be getting it day 1. And then, of course, I'm not going to stream it until the proper days, because I'm not going to go off at schedule, and that's something I can direct. Because those take precedent, you know? Only other exception I can maybe see is if it's... Well, not even then. Like, Pikmin 4 Day 1 was like a major event, and that had a demo, so I could... That had a demo I could do when that first came out, and then when I actually streamed the game proper, like, that was a big special occasion. That wouldn't happen too much. Yeah. Plus, hey, that would mean you would get a week to get the game and play it yourself fix, and, you know, maybe help me along if I get stuck, or tell me about your experiences as I go through it. Like, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. And besides, like, playing the game a week late isn't really that bad, honestly. Like, it's not day 1, but, you know, it's still nice. At least better than a lot of other games I play, where I play them like 6 months late and everyone's already moved on. That's what happened with... It's kind of what happened with Kirby's Dream Buffet, because everyone moved on after like a month or 2 of that, and I got the game after that, and... I wouldn't say the servers were dead for it, but you could tell they didn't want to do anything with Kirby's Dream Buffet anymore, and that's kind of sad. I might actually stream that once, just to play it again, because it's been a while, you know? But that's enough stalling for that. Tomorrow, more Dudunsparce. Then about a month's worth of Zelda as we play through Oracle of Seasons and continue the saga of Craig. And then we'll have like a month left before ZA. And oh, Superstars multiplayer. Yep. I mean, that sure was interesting when we played that, but that got old fast, so I see why that died out quick. And then I have actually played a little bit of local co-op with Superstars. Sonic Superstars. Oh god. When playing local multiplayer, it's held together so poorly. Oh my god. You can tell that the multiplayer thing was just shoehorned in there because, oh god. Like, yeah, someone's exaggerating from people emulating the game and trying to make Sonic look bad, but like, it is rough. It is very rough. It is a thing. It is a thing. But with that, I've been standing here waving goodbye for like 10 minutes. Let's just end the stream already. We could continue our discussions like this tomorrow, okay? Anyway, it's late. I gotta go eat supper. And I gotta think about what I'm gonna do after Oracle of Seasons, I guess. Local co-op is something like Scotch tape and Elmer's glue. Not even a dream. Not even a dream. Man, it is a thing. And here's the thing: I've not played Superstars with 4 people. I've only played with 2 players. I don't have enough controllers to realistically do enough unless I'm gonna have like 2 people cram their hands on a Joy-Con, which ain't optimal. And let me tell you, even 2 players is rough. Like a lot of the viral videos show 3 or 4. Even 2 players, it's rough. Even with 2. If you're gonna play Superstars, please play it single player, and then probably just stop after the main game. Pick it up on a sale. It is not. It is not. It is not a smooth experience. Like if you think Scarlet and Violet, is held together bad, oh boy. Sonic once again showing what happens when you rush a game out the door really badly. And hopefully, just like Sonic, Pokemon Company learns to get their shit together and not rush out these games. And so far, it seems like that might actually be the case. I have high hopes for the future. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I once again have stalled way too good, as I usually do. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. No more stalling. That's it from me. Goodbye. For real. Thanks. Maybe I'll be more lucky tomorrow. We'll see. See ya.